at Local 10 here in Miami. Are you a believer, Clay, that San Antonio can win the Western Conference going through OKC?
We talked about this, what was it, last week? And I said,
yep.
Yeah, I was picking them. And you guys were both like, whoa, it sounds like you think they're actually, like, they should be the favorites. And yeah, I mean, look, it's small sample size theater as far as the playoffs go, but it's not when it comes to the regular season. They won 4 out of 5 games. I heard somebody explain it this way, and it makes a lot of sense, that the geometry changes for SGA when Victor Wembanyama is in the game. And San Antonio has a way to defend SGA and the Thunder unlike anybody else, because you've got Wembanyama there, but you've also got some really good athletes in front of him. And those players don't have to reach and try to do things when they get out of position against SGA and send him to the foul line, because they know they've got this gigantic eraser behind them. So I think the more you look at it, it's not a coincidence that San Antonio beat them 4 out of 5 times in the regular season. It's one of those matchup things where not only is San Antonio really good, but the matchup really seems to favor them.
And Clay, we're watching the finals right now, aren't we? Like, I'm with you. Dylan Harper, Vassell, Castle, all the guards. Like, we're watching this, but Caruso went crazy last night. SGA's there. We're watching the finals. The East doesn't have a chance, do they?
Correct. No, not unless there's a significant injury. And, you even say that, and, I would hate to see Wemby get hurt. And yet, even when he got suspended, San Antonio goes out there and shows that they can play, or not suspended, but kicked out of the game. I mean, they, even when they lose, they look like they're able to play for short stretches without him. You don't want to play more than a game or so if something happens. But yeah, barring a season-ending injury to Wembanyama or SGA, yeah, it's hard to see either of these teams losing to anybody in the East.
Oh, Appel's muted. Jimmy, did you mute Appel?
No, I did before the last segment ended. That's on me. I apologize. Wow. Hello, Clay.
And you'd think somebody who was a guest in your own home, Clay, would be more considerate to all the others around.
Well, I thought this was another time where I screwed up and my cell phone dropped or something. So I'm just happy that it's somebody other than me this time.
Nope. Hand up. This one's on me. I take.
We may have to take your question away. We may just have to get back into the rotation without you asking anything.
Well, I'm going to ask it anyways. Right. You mentioned, a potential occurrence like Wemby with a season-ending injury, and I'm not trying to make project what Wemby's going to be, but do you think that, what do you think his longevity is going to be in this league? Is this going to be a nice 5-6 year sprint where we've got to appreciate it now, or do you think his body type, how he plays, is going to lend itself to a shorter career than maybe it would have been?
I think that's one of the things that is unknown. I also think that what we've learned about Wembanyama not just since he's entered the NBA, but even going back before that, and you hear these stories about the maniacal work ethic and just wanting to be the best of all time. I don't know if you guys remember when they played Golden State. It was a preseason game, and he blocked Klay Thompson's 3-pointer. He runs down, and he, instead of dunking it immediately, he waits for looking for him to interview him, to do typical media, and nobody can find him because the PR staff hasn't told him.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
Norby hammers high in the sky, out to left, no doubt about it. And that was a no-doubt bomb for Norby.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck. The official pregame show of the Miami Marlins on the home of the Marlins, WQAM.
1-1, that one crushed out to right and deep. Reyes looking up, and it's gone. Serious pop. That's cleanup man X to you.
Marlins on Deck is brought to you by ADT, the official security partner of the Miami Marlins, and by Werner, Huffman, Gregg & Garcia, official law firm of the Miami Marlins.
It's all down. I'm pissed off. I'm ready to go. Why do you get so pissed off? I don't like hitters.
Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Straub.
Nice job, Britt. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live from Lone Depot Park here in Miami, Florida on an 84-degree Tuesday afternoon in the Magic City. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. The roof and the walls are closed today. We're on AM 560 WQAM.
Yeah, I think that was a legitimate clunker.
Game 49 of 162. The Marlins stuck it to the best team in baseball yesterday in a 12-0 beatdown that featured a grand slam from Javier Sanoja, another home run from Xavier Edwards, and a sturdy performance from Max Meyer, who is officially breaking out as the guy we thought he could be. It's going to be hard to match the run total, but the big question tonight is, can the Marlins validate, come back this afternoon, and put together a complete game instead of resorting back to the boom or bust outputs? Braxton Garrett, he will have a big say in that after recording just 4 outs in his first start back in Minnesota in the big leagues last week. He will get his second turn in the rotation. He will go opposite the 35-year-old veteran Martin Perez, who just keeps on chugging along in season 15 with the Atlanta Braves. We are pumped to bring you game 2 of this 4-game NL East set between your now 22-26 Miami Marlins and the 32-16 Atlanta Braves. We will get going at 4:10 on this Tuesday afternoon right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Tuesday with Jack McMullen and Rod Allen. I'm Steven Strom. We got a wonderful show for you ahead, and we thank you for your participation as we set the stage for Game 2 of this 4-game set between the Braves and the Marlins. Lineup for the show, we got Connor Norby leading the way. We got Braxton Garrett and Jack McMullen in segment 2. We'll get you at the count with the 2 men on the mound. Jack will jump in for segment 4. X-Bowl question today at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. I mentioned off the top, it was really a big game from Javier Sanoja with the grand slam. Xavier Edwards hitting yet another home run and yet another home run from the right side. We got a great performance from Max Meyer. A guy, though, that maybe was a little bit quiet, Connor Norby. He had a hit. He drew 2 walks. He now has 17 walks on the season, only drew 18 last year. But it was a really cool opportunity to catch up with Connor, not only because the Marlins finally put it together in a very whatever the word is, but a big-time win against the Braves. But also, Connor Norby had his brother here, Ethan Norby, who plays at East Carolina. Got a chance to catch up with Norby after the game, and he was recapping it and what this game sort of reminded this team of, plus, again, his brother being in the stands. What's your favorite part about a night like tonight?
I mean, there's not too many things that went wrong, in a sense. Max pitched great. He always does. Got on the board early. 2 big innings. It felt like we'd been kind of snake bitten over these last couple of weeks, just hadn't got that kind of like that bloop or that one thing to go our way. And tonight it felt like we got some of those, and it felt like we were due for one of these.
This is the best team in baseball, at least record-wise. You beat them here 12-0. What kind of reminder does that serve to this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a frustrating couple of weeks for us. We've been playing a lot of good teams, and we just haven't put our best foot forward most nights, I feel like, consistently. It's a lot better than where we were last year because we expect more. And that's why I think we're kind of somber about how these last couple of weeks have gone. But tonight's a good reminder that we are what we are capable of, for sure.
We'll go from somber to sappy here. Your brother's here with the East Carolina baseball team, and I asked him what his relationship is like with you, and he said, you're the reason why he plays baseball. He said the first words out of your mouth was ball. What does that mean to you?
I mean, yeah, like our relationship has grown a ton over the last couple years, and obviously he's the little brother. We still fight, and I'm super excited and proud of him always. He's got big things coming for him, and it was cool to see him, cool to see the whole team and all the coaches and just everybody. It's a big East Carolina travels well, and they always have and they always will, and that place will always hold a special spot in my heart.
All right, so that was Connor Norby, who has now reached base in 11 of 15 games here in the month of May. He will DH and bat 7th against the lefty Martin Perez. So Connor Norby, he's off to a good start. Marlins It was fun last night, but how quickly we have to turn the page here to Tuesday afternoon. Braxton Garrett will make his second turn of the rotation for the Marlins. He joins us next with Jack McMullen on the Marlins Radio Network.
Everyone knows BrandSmart USA as the heavy hitters, like big screen TVs and appliances, but our lineup is way deeper than you think. We've got mattresses, furniture, and grills for the cookout, plus everything from fitness equipment, vacuums, AC units, the latest tech, and more to keep your home running like a pro. We make life easier with fast delivery, professional installation, haul away, and our own in-house repair centers. All at the lowest price with 0% interest financing and buy now, pay later options. BrandSmart USA, favorite brands, lowest prices guaranteed.
At Loan Depot, we're big on home. Home games, home teams, home field advantage, and you better believe it, home runs. For us, home means everything, which is why we're offering more options that make buying your first home easier and more affordable. No matter where you are on your home ownership journey, round the corner to LoanDepot.com and let us help get you home. That's LoanDepot.com. We're on deck ready to hit it out of the home ownership park for you. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
Out here, if you're doing nothing, you're doing everything right. Though on a cruise with Norwegian, even if you're doing nothing, you're still basking in the warm sun, enjoying the peaceful ocean waves. You're breathing. Don't forget about breathing. Definitely need to be breathing. So you get to do nothing or everything, but you still need to be breathing. It's like really important.
Experience the difference with cruises to Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line ships registry to the Bahamas and USA.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and memorable moments. Make your plans today for July 24th through the 27th for the induction of Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent as the class of 2026. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown.
This is Clayton McCullough, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Braxton Garrett, he will make his first home start in nearly 2 years. He struggled in his season debut last Thursday in Minneapolis, allowed 5 runs while recording just 4 outs in a 9-1 loss. Brax looking to bounce back, and our very own Jack McMullen got a chance to chat with Garrett before his start yesterday afternoon.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen. Braxton Garrett getting ready for your start against the Atlanta Braves. I'm just curious, on the heels of the Minnesota start, did you notice anything mechanically different from what you may have been doing when you were off to a really strong start in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it kind of stemmed from the last couple starts in AAA, but just being a little too robotic, thinking too much about mechanics when I just need to get athletic. I can throw the ball where I want to, be a little more athletic, and my hip was flying out a little early. Like I'm a little too early to throw it. So just trying to keep that, stay closed as long as I can, but let the arm get out early and stay free.
Obviously a lot of time for you to rehab on the heels of the elbow surgery. But, it almost, hearing from guys that go through a Tommy John recovery or a UCL recovery, they talk about learning how to walk again on the mound. Did you feel that to a certain extent even at the beginning of this year?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Steven were just talking, and it's one of those things like you think the feel of the game is just going to come right back, and it's just not really the case. Like early, it's felt like even defensively, like I made a couple errors in AAA where I hadn't fielded a ball from a hitter in a long time. So, the game maybe a little speeds up on you, but each start you learn something and it slows down a little bit more.
Did you ever find yourself thinking robotically during that 23 or 24 season, or is that kind of a new sensation on the heels of a UCL surgery?
I've always been a little bit of a tinker in the fact that I can get a little hot-headed, even in a bullpen, and I've done a lot better, back in 23 when I was pretty successful. It's easy to just go to the bullpen, feel what you want to feel, and you're done, and just keep it rolling. But when you're struggling a little bit, it's a little different. You want to do everything right and nail everything down. And it's just not going to work that way. So just got to stay confident and trust in what we're working on, things like that.
Braxton, if you wouldn't mind taking us right behind the curtain, just seeing the 4 days in between your start, what are the most important things for you to do and the boxes for you to check in those 4 days in between starts?
First want to get good recovery in, get my routine, make sure the arm's feeling good, the body's feeling good, and just kind of figure out what went wrong and attack them. In the grass, I like to think more athletic and catch play. But before that, in my plyo ball drills, and once I get on the mound, I start to think a little bit more about what I need to do, from point A to point B. So, yeah.
Are you a 10 hours of sleep guy before your start? Like Yusei Kikuchi gets, 14, 15 hours of sleep?
I can try and get as much as I can. I wouldn't say 10 is my bar, though.
What's your goal?
8 to 9, 8 is the minimum.
Are you 8 most nights, would you say, or no?
I'd say, yeah.
Easy. Last one for you. Looking at this Atlanta Brave lineup, there are a lot of guys where it feels like you know what they do, right? Olsen, you know how he hits. Riley, you know how he hits. How do you prep for a lineup where a lot is known about those guys?
Yeah, just trust yourself, trust in your stuff, dial in a plan and just be confident, all hitters get out, So, yeah, just trust the work and get after him.
Braxton Garrett, appreciate it. Best of luck, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Steven.
All right, yeah, and Braxton Garrett career-wise against Matt Olson. Olson's 0 for 10 with 2 punch-outs. Austin Riley's 0 for 8 with 4 punch-outs. The Marlins are going to have a little bit of good news for them, bad news for the Braves. Drake Baldwin officially hit CIL, who has just been a menace this year, not only against the Marlins. Ronald Acuna Jr. in. He will DH and bat at the top of the order for Walt Weiss's Atlanta Braves. So Braxton Garrett looking to bounce back, and hopefully he probably got to go home in the 4th inning the way that game ended. So hopefully he had more than 8 hours of sleep, and hopefully he can stay within the strike zone. We'll hear Clayton coming up next on what the key to success for Braxton is. Plus, we'll get you at the count next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
At Loan Depot, we're big on home. Home games, home teams, home field advantage, and you better believe it, home runs. For us, home means everything, which is why we're offering more options that make buying your first home easier and more affordable. No matter where you are on your home ownership journey, round the corner to LoanDepot.com and let us help get you home. That's LoanDepot.com. We're on deck ready to hit it out of the home ownership park for you. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
Experience a celebration of the historic connection between baseball and the military this Memorial Day weekend in Cooperstown, New York. The Hall of Fame Military Classic, a tribute to service and sacrifice, will be held May 23rd at Doubleday Field. The 7-inning Legends game will feature Hall of Famer coaches and managers and recently retired MLB stars. The Hall of Fame Military Classic is part of a weekend celebration of America's 250th birthday. Get your Military Classic tickets today at baseballhall.org.
South Florida's top choice for quality signs and graphics is Metro Group Miami. With Metro signs and Metro wraps, no job is too big or too small for the experts at Metro Group Miami. A proud corporate partner and official signage and graphics provider of the Miami Marlins, they bring brands to life. Call them today at 954-983-6662. Visit metrogroupmiami.com to discover what they can do for you. Metro Group Miami, signs, graphics, car wraps. They're your everything team.
This is Anthony Bender, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
So believe it or not, the Marlins, who scored a season-high 12 runs, they secured the franchise's largest shutout win in club history, again, with a 12-0 win over the Braves yesterday. It was a fun night for the Fish, and it was a fun night for us here in the broadcast booth. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and Rod Allen. Get you ready here for Game 2 of this 4-game set. We're playing baseball at 4:10 on this Tuesday afternoon from Lone Depot Park. Let's get you ahead of the count, and of course, the starting pitchers are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com. We'll start with Martin Perez, 35-year-old left-hander who is in season 15. It's kind of been a weird winding road for Perez for the Atlanta Braves organization. He signed a minor league deal at the end of January, okay? So his contract was selected. Again, he started in the minor leagues, but his contract was selected by the Braves on March 30th. He made 3 appearances. He threw to a 3 ERA. He was then DFA'd. A day later, he re-signed after he elected free agency with the Atlanta Braves. So here we go. Martin Perez, who's made a couple of starts, a couple of appearances from the bullpen. On the season, he's 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA, 9 appearances, 5 starts, 36 combined frames, 28 Ks to 11 walks. He was supposed to start yesterday, but was pushed back after relieving out of the bullpen on Saturday in Boston. His last start was on May 6th, so we'll see here with the Marlins throwing out a big-time righty lineup. They got Christopher Morel. They've got Heriberto Hernandez. They've got Esteury Ruiz. Those guys are in the meat of the order today against Martin Perez. But the other part to this, the Marlins are going to dictate when we see guys like Jacob Marcy and Liam Hicks. The quicker you get to Perez, the quicker you see those guys. So we shall see how the Marlins offense attacks in Pedro Guerrero's plan for this. Braxton Garrett, 28-year-old southpaw, will make his second start of the season after being called last week because of Robbie Snelling hitting the IL. He struggled last Thursday against Minnesota, allowed 5 runs on 4 hits, 5 walks. That was really the big part of Braxton's struggles. 3 Ks, just recorded 4 outs. 30 of his 64 pitches were for strikes. Clayton McCullough, what has to change for Brax today?
The strike throwing. I think, that's no secret. And, Brax, acknowledged that and put some good work in this week. And look, again, easy to forget, the amount of time that Brax has missed, and the command and the field part of things takes a little while, but for him to just continue to be able to get out there and find some rhythm, get his delivery synced up, and, just fill up the strike zone today, give himself a chance to, pitch deeper into the game.
And I thought it was a really good interview that Jack had done with Braxton Garrett in the previous segment. And Brax was really open and authentic about what he felt that game against Minnesota. He said he needed to be more athletic. He felt that, mechanically, that hip flying out way too early. And this is a guy that is a tinkerer. We talk about Connor Norby constantly being a tinker at the plate. He has met his match with Braxton Garrett because he is the same exact way. We know Braxton has done it before in 2023, but this is a big start for him, especially after what had transpired on Thursday in Minneapolis. 5 career starts against Atlanta, 0-3 with a 6 ERA. But again, Brax had pitched really well prior to Thursday in AAA Jacksonville, throwing to a 2.3 ERA over 31 1/3 innings pitched. He doesn't have to face Drake Baldwin, but he's going to have to face Ronald Acuna Jr., who was activated yesterday. He will DH and bat at the top of the order for Atlanta here tonight. So Braxton Garrett, Martin Perez, they will feature our matchup on the mound at 4:10. We'll break. We'll hear from Connor Norby. We got some stuff on Braxton Garrett. Jack McMullen, he will join us next when we come back on the Marlins Radio Network.
Legal battles shouldn't be fought alone, especially when your health, finances, or family's future are on the line. I'm Adam Werner. At Werner, Hoff, and Gregg and Garcia, we guide our neighbors across the Miami, Florida community through some of life's most difficult legal transitions, from injury cases to disability cases, bankruptcy, and more. Our team is committed to provide clear guidance, strong advocacy, and dependable support every step of the way. Let our family help lead the fight so you can focus on yours. Werner, Hoff, and Gregg and Garcia, official law firm of the Miami Marlins.
Out here, if you're doing nothing, you're doing everything right. Though on a cruise with Norwegian, even if you're doing nothing, you're still basking in the warm sun, enjoying the peaceful ocean waves. You're breathing. Don't forget about breathing. Definitely need to be breathing. So you get to do nothing or everything, but you still need to be breathing. It's really important.
Experience the difference with cruises to Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line ships registry to the Bahamas and USA.
In Miami, we don't drink coffee. We drink cafecito. Our pastries, we call them pastelitos. And when we want a low price, we know you always pay less with your pricito at Doral Volkswagen. Take advantage of a pricito now on all of your favorite new Volkswagen models, like a Tiguan, Jetta, Taos, Atlas, and more. Don't wait. Hurry to Doral Volkswagen today. Don't miss your chance to save on a new Volkswagen with easy financing, fast service, and the best value for your money. Because you always pay less with your pricito at Doral Volkswagen. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or start shopping for your pricito now at DoralVolkswagen.com. Present any Miami Volkswagen dealer's unexpired new vehicle advertisement for verification. Other Lithia dealerships do not qualify. The competing offer must be available for immediate purchase at the advertised price. The competitor's vehicle must be identically equipped as our in-stock vehicle used for comparison.
There's not too many things that went wrong. Felt like we'd been kind of snake bitten over these last couple of weeks, just hadn't got that bloop or that one thing to go our way. And tonight it felt like we got some of those. It felt like we were due for one of these.
All right, that was Connor Norby last night. Jack McMullen, Steven Strom here. The question I posed to Norbs last night was, when you beat a team like you did yesterday and the caliber of team, what is that a reminder of for your team in the Miami Marlins? Jack McMullen, can you answer that question for me?
Yeah, I think it's a reminder of what you can do on any given night against any team in baseball. And honestly, I thought the series victory in LA a couple of weeks ago was entirely indicative of that. A lot of people can point to the Dodgers' kind of offensive skid as a team over the last 2 weeks and say, oh, well, you ran into the Dodgers at the right time. Okay, it takes two to tango here. And at the end of the day, you do have to beat the team in front of you. And Baldwin had a good day yesterday. And Olsen was still in the lineup. And Riley was still in the lineup. And Harris was still in the lineup. You got to beat that team. So the 12 runs was awesome, no doubt about it. And yes, you're seeing a rookie right-hander, J.R. Ritchie. Yes, you're seeing Aaron Bummer, who was released after the game, by the way. The zero is honestly more impressive to me based on where that Braves lineup has been over the course of the last month and a half. And the fact that the Marlins kept their foot on the gas, Meyer threw 6, and then the trio of relievers at the back end of that ball game, I thought was just outstanding and a reminder of who they can be every single time they take the field.
It feels like we've been saying this the last couple of weeks on the other side. Like, it's easy to flush it. Like, let's turn the page. And, like, no one wants to turn the page after what had transpired yesterday, Jack, but we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it with Braxton Garrett, who I think, man, is going to be a big part of this season now. Obviously, Robbie Snelling to the IL. We need someone to step up in this rotation. Obviously, Chris Paddock was DFA'd. This feels like the Brax spot where he's going to have to just take it by the reins, and he's going to have to show us flashes from 23. Be more athletic, hip flying out too early. Those were some of the things that he said. Jack, what does he mean by that, and what should we be looking for with Brax tonight?
So I'll start with what you should be looking for, because when the hip flies open, usually the arm is trailing behind, and then you're trying to play catch-up, or it doesn't actually catch up. So what to look for is where the misses are. You look around, where was he missing last week in Minnesota? The answer is up and arm side and low and glove side. So if you have a right-handed hitter in the batter's box against a lefty, the pitches are going to be missing up and away to a righty or low and in to a righty, up and into a lefty, low and away to a lefty. So that means that he's either yanking it and spiking it a little bit, and we saw that a couple of times, right? He threw 2 pitches behind Minnesota Twins hitters last Thursday. And then also he's going to be sailing it a little bit out of his hand. So those are the things to watch, I guess, as it pertains to the hip. But also, like, Brax is Brax. He's just got to be an athlete on the hill. Everybody has seen the recipe for success for a guy like Braxton Garrett. It's move the ball around the strike zone, mix up a bunch of pitches, keep guys off balance. He just didn't have the opportunity to do that in his season debut, but in AAA, he was doing a lot of that. I'd be really curious to see how he does in a familiar ballpark, because he hadn't thrown at Target Field before.
He's not going to have to face Drake Baldwin. How does that affect Atlanta's offense, and obviously coinciding with how we get to pitch to Atlanta now?
The good news is you don't have to deal with Baldwin. The bad news is baseball loses one of the best catchers in Major League Baseball for the next few weeks, it seems like, with an oblique thing. Good news is Baldwin out of the lineup on the Marlins side. The bad news is Acuna is back in the lineup.
Good replacement
the Braves side. Yeah, it's a really good backfill there. He was the leadoff guy. Baldwin is impervious to platoon splits. He's actually better against left-handed pitching than he is against right-handed pitching. So, honestly, it probably gets a little bit easier for Brax today with no Baldwin in the lineup. It's just an unfortunate loss for baseball, to be honest with you, because, and Rod made this point before going down to do the TV pregame show, it stinks that we don't get to watch that guy. I know that he hammers the Marlins, but man, is he talented. He may be the best hitting catcher in baseball right now.
He's such I think, so different from anyone in this lineup, because he can obviously hurt you with power. He can hurt you with contact. He can also force a double-digit at-bat. He is arguably the most complete hitter in that lineup, Jack?
Can I give you something? So on the Just Baseball show, which is obviously what I do, in the mornings, we had Paul Hembekides. Hembo is on ESPN. He works with Greeny on Get Up and all that stuff.
Tell me he had my same take.
Same take. He said there's a lot of Yordan Alvarez in Drake Baldwin.
Okay.
And you start to actually think about it. He doesn't have the pop that Yordan Alvarez does, but in terms of
The
bat to
profile,
ball,
yeah.
the power, the swing decisions, not swinging and missing, that's probably the best guy you can possibly be comped to. Alvarez, another guy that gets better against lefties than righties. So that's a really dangerous bat that Atlanta has for the foreseeable future. And thankfully, the Marlins don't have to see him the rest of the way this week.
So, again, we catch a break with no Baldwin. And if you were to have to face Acuna, it would probably be best that he hasn't played since May 2nd. So we're hoping for some rust, too.
And you made the mention no rehab assignment for Ronald Acuna Jr. He didn't go on rehab. He's been out since May 2nd with a hamstring strain.
No traject for them on the road.
No traject on the road, but apparently he had a great workout yesterday. So
What does that mean?
I don't know, but he's off the IL.
Did Bummer throwing pitches?
Maybe, likelihood, yes. But no, I mean, Ronald Acuna, we'll see what he looks like. He's DHing today. We'll see if he gets in the field the next couple of days. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see him DH the next 3 and then hop in right field on Friday when they go back to Atlanta.
All right, last thing for you. I told you yesterday, a lot of bark, no bite. Yesterday, there was a lot of bite from the Marlins, but I opened today talking about, look, you got to validate yesterday. Doesn't mean you have to score 12 runs, Jack, but you can't go Jekyll and Hyde if you want to form these winning streaks. And I think a lot of times the Marlins, after the big offensive outpour, they have put up the 1 or the 2 runs.
I almost let an intrusive thought win. I was about to do like a weird dog sound.
No, don't do that.
I'm not going to.
Don't do the roof.
But it was going to be like a growl. All right. But yes, no, you need to put together. Honestly, I'm looking for 5 or more runs from the Marlins today. I think
Can we do it against Perez?
I think so. Yeah,
maybe not just Perez, but this staff.
Martin Perez. It seems like with the Marlins' plan of attack and how they limit Chase, at most, I think Perez goes 5 today.
Okay.
So, yeah, I absolutely think we can do it. So, give me 5 or more runs. That's my
Is that Jack's
McMullins.
guarantee?
McMullins Man of the Hour.
Ooh, I like that. I
That's
think we
what you gave me last year.
We done that last year, I
Yeah.
think. But one thing that scares me about this game in particular, the Marlins have struggled against Foster Griffin. They have struggled against Chris Bassett. They have struggled against Bailey Ober. A little bit of a different pitcher in Martin Perez, but the bottom line is they have struggled against actual pitchers versus throwers. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got McMullins Man of the Hour. When we return, we'll get Steve's guarantee and our Expo question on the Marlins Radio Network. Rawr.
South Florida's top choice for quality signs and graphics is Metro Group Miami. With Metro signs and Metro wraps, no job is too big or too small for the experts at Metro Group Miami. A proud corporate partner and official signage and graphics provider of the Miami Marlins, they bring brands to life. Call them today at 954-983-6662. Visit MetroGroupMiami.com to discover what they can do for you. Metro Group Miami, signs, graphics, car wraps. They're your everything team.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
Out here, if you're doing nothing, you're doing everything right. Though on a cruise with Norwegian, even if you're doing nothing, you're still basking in the warm sun, enjoying the peaceful ocean waves. You're breathing. Don't forget about breathing. Definitely need to be breathing. So you get to do nothing or everything, but you still need to be breathing. It's like really important.
Experience the difference with cruises to Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line ships registry with Bahamas and USA.
At Loan Depot, we're big on home. Home games, home teams, home field advantage, and you better believe it, home runs. For us, home means everything, which is why we're offering more options that make buying your first home easier and more affordable. No matter where you are on your home ownership journey, round the corner to LoanDepot.com and let us help get you home. That's LoanDepot.com. We're on deck ready to hit it out of the home ownership park for you. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475. Little trophies by Drake. This song will never not be cool. Hey, Marlins fans, when water, fire, or mold strike, trust the Marlins' #1 choice at Serve Pro. From cleanup to construction, they work to make it like it never even happened. We are so fired up that you joined here, Marlins on Deck. We're live and local on this Tuesday afternoon. The Marlins kicked some tail yesterday, 12-0 beatdown of the Braves, but now we got to follow it up. It's Braxton Garrett who will make his second start of the season here today. He'll go opposite Martin Perez, a couple of southpaws on the mound. Marlins rolling out a righty-heavy lineup. We'll see if they can do some damage against Perez. So let's get you our X-Poll question today at Marlins Radio. We had already heard from McMullen's Man of the Hour. So the Marlins' 12-0 victory last night was the largest in franchise history at home as far as shutouts are concerned. What was the previous opponent that held that record? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. Again, so who did the Marlins previously to last night? Who was the team that they beat that previously was the franchise record holder as far as the run differential in a shutout is concerned? Okay, it is time for Steve's Guarantees.
Almost time to play ball. First pitch coming up in moments. Steve's Guarantees coming up now.
Well, it's got to start with Braxton Garrett today. Only 4 outs recorded, 5 walks in Minnesota. He's had a week to think about it. He's had a week to look at the film and to talk about it with Daniel Moskis. And we just heard from Braxton's segment 2 that he's got to be more athletic. Mechanically, he can't allow that hip to fly out too early. And Brax, he's a pitcher, and he's a smart pitcher. I believe in Braxton Garrett. Give me 5 frames of 3 runs or less. Again, this is still a tough Atlanta Braves lineup, but I think for Brax, if he is in the strike zone and he trusts his stuff and he lets his defense play behind him, I think he can get to 5 frames of 3-run ball against the Braves. The other part to this, with this righty-heavy lineup, is Terry Ruiz. I like him to have a stolen base. I know it's not a crazy hot take, but in order to get Perez out of this game, they're going to have to manufacture some runs, and I think via the stolen base is the way to go. Leo Jimenez. Leo Jimenez has had a really nice spurt this last week. I like him to collect an extra base hit. He's somewhere in this lineup. Give me Leo Jimenez with an extra base hit here tonight, and expect our big boys, Liam Hicks and Jacob Marcy and guys like that, to come off the bench as soon as we get to Perez and get him out of this game. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Rod Allen, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It is next on the Marlins Radio Network.